What's up, gang? It is I, Carlton Flowers, your crypto pro.
Yay!
And today I wanted to do a special report regarding Strategy 2.0 and talk about this set that I have been stacking, and then tell you about a recent development that has just taken place in the last couple of days, which gives us information that we need to know that kind of is a tell. A tell is a clue that gives you insight or information on a situation that exposes what people are really thinking or doing or planning. So here we are in the Invisible Woman set. And I've been stacking this for the last 6 months. I really like this set. And I remember back in the beginning when people were complaining that they didn't like the character because the hairstyle was too retro or old, or they didn't like her face. There were several complaints. And I love this one, this item. I think the artwork is great. I like all of the poses, and the secret rare is really cool. The animation is cool. So I decided that I was going to stack this, because usually when you get comments from the general audience that is very critical, where they're writing something off as useless, worthless, doesn't look right, or what have you, that's my key. It lets me know, go ahead and stack this, because people's attention are not currently on that item. Now, let me show you my stacks, starting with the common. And the current price is $11.99. Let's see how many of these that I have now. I've got 11 editions, and let's just kind of show the history of the pricing of what I've picked up. The first one, here it is. Let's check out the price. I paid 39 gems. The second one, we'll just run through here real quick and show you. This one I paid $7.99. That might be the low. I guess these are not in chronological order here, the way that they're listed. This one I paid $16. So $7.99 is the low, $39 is the high. That was probably one of the first ones that I got. Here's one for $13. Scrolling on down, let's see what else we have here. There's $10.49. I know I had several at around the 10 to 11 gem price. Okay, there's the high, $54.99. That might have been one of the first ones when FOMO was still high and everyone was clamoring to get these. Imagine that, 59 gems for this common, and then I paid a low of $7.99. Is that not ridiculous? So here's a couple that are in the 40s, and let's look at the last three. Now, when you buy at 57, 55, 42, what have you, and the price goes down to nothing, and you still believe in this item, the smart thing to do is to DCA. That stands for dollar cost average. Here's one at $10.99, and the last one, let's see, comes in at $54.99. So I've got, 3 of those in the 50s, and then we go all the way down. I'll have to do the math and get you my average cost and let you know what it is. I am still planning on picking up more of the common because I like it. Now, if it was at 56, 57 gems at one point, it'll probably get back to that and go beyond in the future on the next parabolic peak. Here's the uncommon. We'll just show the totals here. Now, the uncommon, I have 6. Let's move on to the rare. How many of the rare do I have? I'm thinking I have 2 or 3. Let's see here. I only have 1. I need to pick up more of the rare at 24 gems. And I know ultra rare, I've only got 1. It's at 84. And it has been, oh boy, the range on the rare, it was over 200-300 at one point. And then we have my secret rare. And this is the one that we're talking about. It's currently at 460 gems. What did I pay? Well, let's just look and see. Here we have it. I bought at 690 gems. Now, before you think, good grief, you overpaid for that, keep into consideration the fact that I purchased this with leveraged gems. In other words, I sold off items that I had already made a 10x gain or more, and I used that to buy this thing at 690 gems. So it really didn't set me back. I wasn't paying cash for that. We're going to jump over and look at the chart, and this is the tell. okay, that I wanted to bring to your attention. I started to lose my confidence in this stack, and I thought, well, maybe this is going to go to zero and it'll never come back again. And the secret rare was down as low as 200 gems or something like that. So I started second guessing myself. But now I know, after discovering this pump, that maybe I didn't make a bad decision after all. So let's jump over to my NFT tracker, and here we can see the overall pricing. So let's just kind of look at this, and we see this peak right here that was nearly 2,000 gems. And then we started the distribution. We started coming on down, and let's see, I purchased somewhere around here, I guess. If that's 1,000, let me see if I can zoom out on this. Let's scrunch this in so we can see the pricing. There we go. All right, now we can see that at 600, I bought somewhere around this area in this cluster here because I thought we had leveled off and that this would be the point where it would start moving up. I was wrong. We moved on down after that point and hit a low somewhere here at around 200 gems, 213. I guess the low was 213, 214, somewhere around there. And I started to think, well, maybe I should get another one. But since I was losing confidence as the market continued to go down, I did not, but I should have. Then we jump and we see this peak that happened right here, which is just amazing. So let's go to the 30-day chart. Wow, that's incredible. There we were down here at about the 213 low point, and then we spiked up where we got one data point that jumped up to 480. Let's jump to the 7-day and see if we can zoom in a little bit. There it is right there. Here's your peak at 480. Now, what has happened here? What's going on? Well, here's what's going on. We got down to this low price in this area here, and apparently once whales saw this opportunity, they snapped up the remaining bulk of the supply, which drove the price up to that 480. So this is a tell. It's very telling, in other words, that the price would jump up like this all the way to 480 if this is a forgotten lost item that won't retain value or pump up again in the picture, as I like to color in this big arrow here for special effect. Now, do I expect it to stay up there? No. It'll probably sail back down. There's a good chance that it could move down. Let's look at the 3-day and just kind of zoom in. I would expect that since we see this downward momentum now coming off of that 480, that we could float back down. Maybe we go back down to around the 250 to 300 area, and that's okay. If we do come all the way back down to the 200 level, I'm getting another one. And here's why. We know that there's some attention going on with this item because it got shot up to the moon and then it starts to float down as we level back down. So someone knows that this is going to have extreme future value. Someone is smart and realizes that when we look back at this peak, when this item was nearly $2,000 right there, they know that on the next parabolic peak, we could like float down here to 200, but then the next peak, when it rises up, it'll probably eclipse the previous one because that's what we see over time. So whenever we get a bunch of new users and we hit that next parabolic cycle, who knows? It could be one that could hit 4,000 or 5,000 gems. And what I would like to do is purchase one more down here at the low point. And after we eclipse the previous high, once we have gone, say, a certain percentage above that previous high, and that could be somewhere around, say, 3,000. I might set a goal that no matter what, I unload one of these at 3,000 and then ride it up and see what happens if we can get to 6,000, 7,000 or beyond. So that is my strategy. And this pump is my evidence to know that the item has not been forgotten. That's something that we all must realize, is that right when you think that an item is gone and has no possibility for ever coming back in the future and VeVe is going to die, well, that's when the smart people, the smart money, or the serious investors / collectors, that's when they come in and they make their purchases. because they like to buy when nobody else is. They make the purchases at the low point, when all hope has been lost, when everyone has forgotten about an item, and when they think that there is no future. So you have a choice where you can be the smart investor and you can buy when everyone else is not buying, or you can be like average Joe and you can purchase on the market cycle peaks when you have the evidence that everyone else, well, the masses, the herd is here buying. So, hey, I'm going to jump in and buy now that I see the evidence that it's going to spike. But you don't make money that way. The way that you leverage yourself and make money is when you buy in the lack of obvious evidence. When you do have some evidence, which is previous price history and the fundamentals of the company, knowing that VeVe is not going anywhere and they continue to make fantastic new agreements with new big brands, that's the only evidence that we need. We don't need the evidence in the current price. But when you buy, when all hope is lost, that's where you can make the monumental gains. So hopefully this has been informative to you, and let me know in the comments what your thoughts are about this entire collection. Will it go up in the future? And would it be wise to stack all of the others outside of the secret rare? My thought is yes, because once that secret rare goes back to 2000 and above and beyond, what are people going to say? They're going to say, oh man, I should have bought this one when I could. Now I can't afford it. So I'll have to settle for the ones that I can afford, which is the common, the uncommon, the rare, and maybe the ultra rare. That should drive up the price on those lower items in the collection, because people will start to chase those up since they missed the main bull run of the secret rare where they could have made thousands of dollars on that one item. So that's what I'm betting on. And that is not financial advice. Please do not take that as financial advice and then implement the plan just based on what I'm sharing with you, because I am taking a risk and I'm rolling the dice and I'm betting with money that I can afford to lose. And it's those people who take the biggest risks that make the greatest gains, who buy when no one else is buying. Well, that's all I've got for this edition, and I would love it if you would like, comment, and subscribe to the Crypto Pro channel. And stay tuned for future updates. And shout out to all my fantastic Telegram group members, my Crypto Pro VeVe group members. Yay! We have a great time and we have a great atmosphere of good discussions and strategy, and we keep it clean. It's a family-friendly environment. No fussing, no fighting, no spamming and buying and selling. We just keep it to the good strategy so we can all make these gains when the next cycle hits. That's all for now. This is Carlton, and I am out.